Happy Monday to you. Good evening. My name is Wafenya Wanyasa. We begin by taking a look at some of the stories making headlines. Millions worth of property lost in Kibera fire. The UN African program, just what Africa needs to adopt. And in sports, the Kenya Premier League title to be decided this weekend. Welcome. Now, property worth millions of shillings was destroyed by fire at Kibera Hawkers Market on Monday morning. The fire, whose cause has not yet been established, began at around 1 a.m. Traders are now calling on the county government to enhance measures, or rather response measures. Wairimu Bogwa has more on that story.
Traders are counting losses after a fire set ablaze the Kibera Hawkers Market in the wee hours of the night, destroying property worth millions of shillings. The fire is reported to have started at 1 in the morning and lasted until 4 a.m. Traders say that the fire rescue team had arrived on time but did not have enough water to put out the fire.
Yote karibu ya Kibera tungefurahia kwa ajili kisa kama hii ikitokezea, tungependa tuwe tunaweza kusaidia. Juu kama siku ya leo ile kitu imetendeka, magari zimefika late, moto gari moja haingeweza. Sasa ni hasara tunapata nayo ya Kibera kila wakati.
According to the hawkers, the fire destroyed large sections of the market, destroying property that had been acquired through loans, leaving the hawkers in despair.
Kuna sections nyingi kwa soko. Kuna section ya carpentry, kuna section ya omena, kuna tailoring, kuna chogo, kuna chuma. Sasa tumepoteza vitu mingi kwa usiku ya leo.
Ukiangalia jamii zetu wenye wako na biashara kama ya omena, hakuna ile kitu wamepata. Kuna hata za loan iliingia tu jana. Kama gikundi waliweka vitu zao ya gikundi, na ukiangalia ile hasara wamepata hatuwezi ongea. Kwa hivyo serikali wajaribu watuwekee bidhaa ya kutusaidia.
The traders are now calling upon the county government to have quick response measures that will aid in such incidences. In a statement on Facebook, MP for Kibera, Kenneth Okoth, said that he is coordinating with the county government and national government to get the market reconstructed to higher standards. He added that he will stand together with the hawkers at this difficult time and throughout the recovery period. The cause of the fire has not yet been established. Reporting for WTV News, I'm Wairimu Bogwa.
And this story leads us to our question of the day, and we ask, what steps can be taken to minimize market fires in Kenya? What steps can be taken to minimize market fires in Kenya? Do let us know by sending us an SMS to 20058. We'll get to sample them and post some of your thoughts on our Facebook page, WTV Kenya. And so looking at the African continent, African nations have now endorsed a UN roadmap aimed at supporting a sustainable transport system for the continent. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon witnessed the adoption of the new plan meant to benefit health, environment and overall sustainable development across Africa. Here's more.
African governments have a mandate to prioritize infrastructure as a key sector in development for the continent to make significant economic gains. This was a strong talk point from the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to delegates attending the UN Environment Programme Summit.
Africa is growing rapidly, and I am very encouraged to see so much dynamism from individuals and the private sector, creating jobs and income.
In Kenya alone, rapid urbanization is projected to double Nairobi's car fleet in just 6 years, a situation that could put the health and well-being of thousands of Kenyans at risk.
In strengthening African transport, we must overcome a number of infrastructure bottlenecks and policy choke points.
Globally, air pollution is killing 7 million people a year, though deaths from outdoor air pollution in Africa are well below the world average.
In looking at the perspectives for Africa on sustainable transport, we also have the perfect case study of what the world is currently negotiating in terms of a future set of sustainable development goals.
Global development lenders pledged more than $8 billion to boost economic growth and reduce poverty in 8 countries in the Horn of Africa. World Bank's pledge of $1.8 billion includes $600 million from its private sector arm that will go toward a regional pipeline and road projects linking Uganda, Kenya and South Sudan, among other projects.
Transport is about mobility. It's about access, it's about safety, it's about resource efficiency, it's about health, and it is about equity.
With rapid urbanization in developing countries, energy consumption and carbon dioxide emissions by urban transport are increasingly rapidly everywhere in the world, including Africa.
Now, Labour Cabinet Secretary Kazungu Kambi on Monday unveiled a task force aimed at streamlining administrative and foreign employment and management of labour migration issues. This move comes against the backdrop of concerns raised over an increasing number of Kenyans working abroad without proper documentation. Let's take a look at that.
Unemployment remains one of the greatest development challenges of our time, which has adversely affected Kenya's social-economic progress for the last 3 decades. Kenyans are increasingly seeking employment abroad, where the number of Kenyans in the diaspora is currently estimated at 3 million. Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs Amina Mohamed said that it is the ministry's duty to see Kenyans respected holistically in the Middle East and diaspora as well, in order to curb insecurities such as human harassment, indecent jobs and improper arrangements before they leave the country.
We actually have really skilled workers, and we have a demand outside the country that needs this skilled labor force. And so we're not going to stop that. But we will have to deal also with the issue of domestic workers and find out whether there's any value added in them working outside the country. What kind of pay do they get? Who keeps their documents, for instance, the travel documents? How is this money paid to them, right? Because we also don't want to end up in a situation where, a worker goes out. It could be my sister, it could be my cousin, goes out there. She works for 1 year without any pay because the employer has decided that he wants to keep this money for them and give it to them at the end of the employment. That is not acceptable. It is not right.
Cabinet Secretary for Labour Kazungu Kambi reiterated that his ministry will work closely in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with the aim of streamlining the foreign employment sector.
My ministry will work closely in close collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade to forge bilateral agreements aimed at streamlining the foreign employment sector, recommend measures for effective coordination and regulation of recruitment agencies, develop a police direction and advise the government on whether to maintain or lift the existing ban on export of Kenyan workers to the Middle East and the Gulf region.
Labour Cabinet Secretary Kambi Kazungu has inaugurated the task force to review matters related to employment of Kenyans in the Middle East in a bid to enjoy equal rights, whether local or abroad. The number of Kenyan migrants workers in the Gulf region is currently estimated at about 100,000. Reporting for WTV News, I'm Agnes Minor.
And on our feedback question for the evening, we heard earlier asked, what steps can be taken to minimize market fires in Kenya? What steps can be taken to minimize market fires in Kenya? Do SMS us your thoughts on 20058. We'll get to sample some of them and post them on our Facebook page, WTV Kenya. And finally, in the world of sports, the race for the 2014 Kenya Premier League title will be decided on the final day of action, with Gor Mahia and Sofapaka all having realistic hopes of lifting the title after they both won their respective league matches on Saturday afternoon.
Danny Sarukuma has got one man to go through, and then Walusimbi runs across. And Walusimbi puts it in the net. It was Walusimbi and Danny Sarunkuma who are chasing it.
Table toppers Gor Mahia on 57 points were 3-1 winners over Muhoroni Youth in Kisumu, while at the Mumias complex, Sofapaka forced a 2-1 victory over AFC Leopards to take the title push to the wire. Only a point separates Kogalo from the Batoto Bamungu going to the final match day that will also see eventual winners of the title being crowned. Gor will be at home at Nairobi City Stadium on the final match day against Ushuru FC, while Sofapaka will be across town at the Ruaraka Sports Club to confront Tusker. At the Moi Stadium in Kisumu, Godfrey Walusimbi opened the score sheet for Kogalo in the 21st minute after being put through by compatriot Dan Serunkuma before Geoffrey Baba Kizito and Serunkuma added the other goals. Well, and that's it from our news desk. Do have yourselves a blessed one. My name is Wavinya Wanyasa.